So for the veins, we start from the heart again. We have the precava, which services the thoracic cavity, and also the postcava, which on this really starts from the heart, goes descending, or I should say goes posterior, still in the thoracic cavity, and then it goes through the diaphragm and continues on as the postcava in the abdominal cavity as well. So here, the landmark that divides the pre and postcava is not the diaphragm, it's the heart itself. So anything coming up this way from the heart is precava, and anything coming down from the heart this way is the postcava. So the precava basically branches into two branches, the left and right. This would be the right brachiocephalic vein, and you have a left brachiocephalic vein as well. You have two branches. You have one that is the left subclavian, or in this case the right subclavian vein, and it will be the right subclavian vein until it passes through the rib cage where the clavicle would be, and then it becomes the left, in this case right axillary vein, and then it continues on into the arm and becomes the right brachial vein. You can also see this branching off, usually somewhere in the axillary or sometimes even at the point of the subclavian area, it branches off and becomes a subscapular vein. So in this case, the right subscapular vein. Then you have another branch going to the head. This is the right external jugular vein. You have the same thing on the left-hand side. You have the left subclavian vein branching off from the brachiocephalic. So here's your brachiocephalic, left brachiocephalic vein branching to the left subclavian branches and the left external jugular. Now the external jugulars sort of have this transverse jugular that connects them. So here's your left subclavian vein, which quickly becomes the left axillary vein and then continues out into the arm, becomes the left brachial vein. Then you can see as it curves up into the elbow, it is the left median cubital vein. We couldn't see it on this side because it's not intact over there. We also have this branch coming off right about the same time that becomes the subclavian vein. We have a branch coming off of that going straight down into the scapula, and that is the subscapular vein. Now this branch can come off anywhere from while it's still the subclavian vein, or it could be in the axillary region. Either way, it varies from cat to cat. So then we have one other vein up here, or two others actually, that we need to look at. One branches directly off the precava and immediately turns and descends on the right-hand side, and this is the Azygos vein right here. And we have one other vein that comes right off the top here, and this is the internal mammary vein. Now we have the left and right pulmonary veins, which didn't show up well in this. They will be red. Anything that's dyed red in the lungs is a vein. Anything that's dyed blue in the in the lungs is an artery. So it's reversed from every other part of the body. So whereas veins are always blue and arteries are always red in the body, in the lungs it's a reversed color scheme. So now descending into the abdominal cavity, we can follow the postcava on down. The first vein we're going to see that's on our sheet is the Adrenolumbar Vein, and it services this little gland right here called the adrenal gland. The next vein we're going to see, and this is the left adrenolumbar vein. There's one on the right side as well. The next vein we're going to see, in this case, is the left renal vein, and it services the kidney. And then we'll continue on down, and as before, we're going to come down to the Iliolumbar vein, which runs right parallel with the iliolumbar artery right here. That is the Iliolumbar vein. In this case, it's on the right-hand side. For whatever reason, it is not intact on the left-hand side on this particular cat. And then we have this branching of the postcava. So I'm going to lift up the aorta here, sort of move it aside so you can see the branching of the postcava. And the postcava will branch into the left and right common iliac veins. And the common iliac veins will run down until there's a branch that branches off and goes, usually it goes deep. This is the branch right here. On this other cat it might be a little bit better, easier to see. In this case you can see it pretty clearly. It's right here. And that is the internal iliac vein. So this is the left internal iliac vein. As soon as the common iliac vein, which is right here, sends a branch down internally to become the internal iliac vein. The common iliac becomes the external iliac vein. And it continues on into the leg as the femoral vein. And there's one more vein we need to know associated with the hepatic system called the hepatic portal vein, and it runs right along with the pancreas. So it's right here. It's probably a little bit better on this cat, I think. So we find the pancreas, and then on some cats it's dyed yellow, and these not so much. So it's just either sort of a brownish blue color right here. Hepatic portal vein right there.